Okay, perfect. Let's start. Welcome everyone to this exclusive webinar. We didn't let you know in advance because this wasn't planned in advance. We have come across the great opportunity to have Pedro Jareño, Startup Lead Spain, available and for us to explain this new program, the requisites, the benefits, and to answer all the questions you might have. As some of you might know, a Bizspark program changed a couple of weeks ago and is now called Microsoft for Startups. So as we will proceed exactly as the same as the last webinar. If you have any questions, please write it on the text chat, and I will ask the questions to Pedro. You can do it during the presentation or at the end of it. It's up to you. But Pedro will talk 15-20 minutes about the program, and then we will have some room for questions. So, Pedro, welcome. Thank you very much for your time, and all yours.
Hi everyone, thank you very much. Very welcome to be here. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to you guys about our brand new program for entrepreneurs. As you mentioned before, it is called Microsoft for Startups. It was launched like 3 weeks or so ago, maybe 1 month right now, and it comes to be the new Bizspark motion. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it is, about how are we right now working with startups, and of course I will be here to attend any question you have after my explanation. First of all, I would like to tell you a small story. When we talk about Microsoft as a corporation, and we're talking about how we as a corporation can help startups, or the other way around, we have to think first of all about what is to be a startup right now, right? When we talk about Microsoft, of course, we all can think about an amazing, huge company with a lot of clients and customers all over the world, with big structures in many different countries and languages. But I would like to show you a funny picture. And I'm pretty sure that you recognize at least one of those guys is Bill Gates. The other one is Paul Allen. And these guys, they founded Microsoft 40 years ago. And yes, it was a startup. Maybe now it sounds a little bit weird or even not true, right? But it's true. They were a startup. This is a garage. Those are maybe some of the first ideas they had when they were starting up, because that's what they did. And why I'm telling you this, because this is the main reason why right now Microsoft is still trying to help out startups. And this is because of a vision. You know, we have a vision as a company to help the innovators, to be close to them, to learn from them for every single thing they do or they can teach us. And of course, we are here to try to provide something to them, right? Because we believe that we can do that. We also want to help you out right now as a startup, because of course, if you succeed and you in a couple of years become one of the main big enterprises all over the world, we could be proudly partners, and that would be great also, of course, for us. But the story, that it sounds a little bit, I don't know, poetic, but it is true, because it fits a lot with what I feel when I think about belonging to a company like Microsoft, because I am of course, right now the startups lead for Spain for Microsoft, but I am an entrepreneur myself. I am co-founder of a startup in Spain. It's called Minube. It's about social travel, and it was founded more than 10 years ago. So what I want to do with that is to tell you that I really know exactly what feels to be an entrepreneur and to be launching and building something, right? So when I joined the company, it was 1 year and a half nowadays, and I did it because I really thought that it would be a great opportunity to bridge this gap that right now still exists between the corporations and the startups. And I think when I say we, at this moment, I mean Microsoft, we are trying to bridge a little bit of that gap, working with this kind of programs like Microsoft for Startups. So what is Microsoft for Startups? Well, we started thinking about what do we think that the startups need to succeed and grow. And of course, we are a technological company, so we can provide that technology. And if we wouldn't have that, we wouldn't be able to work together, right? So we have this technology. You all guys know that we have this Azure as cloud platform that is the technology you may need to build whatever you are building. But we also understood that, and this is something that personally myself I can really tell, that sometimes, or even most of the times, the most difficult thing to achieve is not to create the product or even to have an amazing team, but to sell that product, to sell those services or that product to the customer, right? And if we have another amazing thing here in Microsoft, is of course our great network, our great network of partners, and the possibility to reach almost every customer or brand all over the world, because somehow most of them, the majority of them, are partners with us, right? So we try to develop this motion where we can become much more than a technological partner, and also a partner to access the customers. And that's why we changed a little bit the approach from Bizspark, where we were, I can say, we had a very different approach on the way that we were trying to give our solution to every single startup, even when they were just having a good idea to develop it. And now we are focusing a little bit more in a later stage, and I will tell you a little bit about that just in a few minutes. So the Microsoft for Startups program, it's about these main pillars. It's about, of course, to innovate on the most trusted cloud, our cloud Azure. Of course, about how can we sell together to one of the most important clients all over the world, and I will explain that a little bit later too. Of course, that you know that you can use any the tool or language in our platform. And also there's another thing about this ecosystem, and it's about people, right? We all that belong to this ecosystem, we all know that this is all about people and about trust and about having someone to talk to. And that's what we are trying to do. And you guys know that a lot because you belong to this Global Sports Innovation Center, and you know what it means to be part of something like you are, right? So for the specifics, we could say that more or less those are the main characteristics. I would say, first of all, that as I mentioned before, we are now more focused on these later stage startups. What do I mean with that? I mean, we are looking for B2B startups because it makes sense for us as Microsoft to be in touch with those guys that can create products to sell to other clients, because we are in touch with these main enterprises all over the world. So it means that if you are a B2C startup, it's not that we cannot work together. We can try to figure it out, but it is going to be more complicated and more difficult. And right now, to be honest, this is not our main focus. So again, we are looking for the most high potential B2B startups that are already in the market, that have already a product. With that, I mean not only an MVP, but a real product that is already working, and you have already clients. You are not still an amazing idea, a real project working on the market with some clients already trusting you, and also you have received some funding. And with that, I mean between seed capital to Series A. That's where we can help you out. If you are one of those startups, you can talk to us. And what can do for you? Well, we can provide you some credit on the cloud. We will start with 25K of free Azure if you finally qualify to this project. This credit is going to be for 1 year, and after that, if you show us some traction and you show us that you really are growing, we can ask for some additional credit, but this is not granted at all. And I have to tell you here right now, because this is the way we are working right now. As we saw that there were a lot of startups trying to get a lot of credit for working with us in the cloud, but at the end of the day, they didn't use it at all. So we decided to start one step for a time. Okay, so that's on credit amount. Then of course you will have some access to our tools. I mean tools to let you create your product. Talking about Visual Studio Enterprises, you will have also some licenses for free on our software. I mean Office 365. Maybe you can even get some licenses to Dynamics 365 if you also qualify. You will have some amazing technical support 24 hours a day. You will have the opportunity to ask for any technical issues you have directly from the platform, and these people is going to be all the day long for answering to your questions. And the main news we have in this Microsoft Startups program is this co-sell motion. We talk a little bit later at the bottom of the slide. When we say co-sell, what we really say is that we as Microsoft can help you to sell for real your product and your services, to find your real customer. Okay, and that's something that is really cool. And of course, this is something that we only can do together if you show us what that you are mature enough to do that. You need to show us traction in our cloud platform. You need to show us you are committed with us as a cloud provider, and you need to show us that you have the team to support a sales team, because what we do is having a conversation with our clients to tell them about your solution, and for that you need to be ready for do that. So I'm talking about what do you get if you join our program. We're talking about worldwide scale, because this causal motion also is not only in local terms. We're talking about a worldwide scale. We're talking about creating customer relationships, of course, technical expertise on one of the principal topics we can discuss in our cloud platform. We are talking about having access to the largest sales team, maybe all over the world, and of course to become part of our partner ecosystem. So, to be honest, this causal motion is an amazing solution for a startup, but as I mentioned before, we are only going to do this kind of things with those who are really ready to do that. So what do we need to find to start working on that? Well, as I mentioned before, we need to see that you are in a growth stage and you have this maturity to work with us in this phase, and you have to be focused also, as I told you, on B2B. After that, we will request you to publish your solution in our marketplace, so we can do all of that from our accounts teams in each one of the sectors you could be interested in. I mean, retail or sports or whoever you are. This is all about Microsoft for Startups, but this is not only what I'm going to tell you, because that is like the generalistic approach, but at the same time we are part of a team here in Microsoft. I'm talking about personally here in Spain, but we have this department in every country over the world, and what we try to do is not only to provide this Microsoft for Startup program, but also trying to engage technically with you guys, and it means that we really can work with you to build your stuff, and I mean to build it for real. What we do is we do it in two different ways. We do some when we identify that you, for instance, are a startup working on AI for some SaaS platform to understand exactly the metrics on basketball. I don't know, I'm just guessing. You are in this moment interested in create an improvement on your solution, specifically in AI or in machine learning or in cognitive services, or some of the technological pillars that you are seeing right now in this slide. So you can tell us, and if we believe that we can help you out, we can provide you some resources, and in this case resources are engineers, experts on each one of these pillars, and they can or go to your office to work with you guys for 3 or 4 days on that improvement, of course after signing an NDA for sure. And or the other way around, what we do is we create what we call the Hackfest. We do these kind of things sometimes in different locations, and we pick up one technology, for instance IoT, and what we do is we can tell you, hey guys, you are developing something right now in IoT, so you can join us for these 4 days Hackfest, and we are going to work with you and maybe 5 to 8 different teams, and we provide some specifically engineer for each one of those teams, and you can work together. And the objective of this Hackfest is at the end of this week to have some real solution to go directly to production. It is not about a proof of concept. We want it to be for real on your production. So I think that those different approaches for helping you out from technological perspective really could be interesting for you guys. And for closing, we had to talk a little bit more about 3 other things. We have this Microsoft Scale-Up program. I don't know if you heard before about Microsoft Accelerators. They were the new name. With this rebranding, they are called right now Microsoft Scale-Up. We have 7 of them in Seattle, Beijing, Shanghai, Bangalore, Tel Aviv, Berlin, and London. Well, in fact, we are going to open a new one in Sydney. And what we do there is that also focused on B2B later stage, in this case, even later, because we're talking about scaling up, and it's like an accelerator program to scale. And you can, we can help you to locate the correct person in each one of those places if you really are interested in applying in that program. It's not about equity. We don't take equity of the startups. We only give a lot of credit for our cloud. We give some amazing mentoring sessions with very talented people, not only within Microsoft, but also from other corporations, from the local ecosystem, from VCs, from sales, marketing, or business development, many different things. And of course, we can be your next to them. In those spaces, you will find also this reactor thing that is a place where you can connect, that you can go there and work like in a co-work space and have some network and meet new people. And they are based exactly in the same spots that our scale-ups. And for the last thing is that to tell you that we have these Microsoft Ventures. This is part of our company that right now is investing again on B2B startups, in this case very focused in AI. Until last year, we as Microsoft Ventures were usually investing in the US or even Israel, but since 1 year ago, we have a business office here in Europe, in London in this case, and until now, in the last 7 or 8 months, Microsoft Ventures already invested in 5 European startups. So right now you can maybe also get invested from abroad. And another interesting thing about this venture capitalist is that we are also trying to find these amazing B2B startups in the future. So I'm talking about from Series A to Series V, just to understand what we are. And this is more or less what it's all about, Microsoft for Startups and all the side things that are surrounding us. This is my contact for whatever you could need. It's important to understand that I know that many of you are from different locations. We have different teams for each one of the regions. So in this case, myself, I'm working from Spain. I am part of what we call Southern Europe. So I am close to the teams in Portugal, Italy, France, Belgium, but I can have the contact for the right person in each one of the regions. So I think through the JSIC team would be the great way to engage if you are interested in some contact from one of your regions. So they will ask me and I can give them the right person. So that's all I wanted to share. I am of course ready for your questions, and I hope that it was that I have been interesting for you guys.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Very interesting. And we have already a few questions. Maybe the one from Simon has been answered in the last slide. He says that he was a member of the Bizspark program and migrated to Microsoft Startup Platform, but he can no longer log in and there is no way to contact support. Could I please get a contact that I can follow up with so that I can continue to use my benefits? And then the second question, which is related to that one, also from Simon, is how can we get connected to our local startup evangelists? I am based in the US West region, Seattle. Thanks.
Okay, so for the first one, this is weird because if you were still in Bizspark, you should get still access to Bizspark, because what is happening right now is that you cannot, or, well, we as Microsoft, we cannot provide new Bizspark offers, but nothing changed for those who were still remaining in Bizspark. So until they graduate, they would be able to get on board. If they don't, what I can do, if you tell me exactly where part of the world are you, I can maybe try to connect you with my local peer over there, and I don't know if they would have some other answer. And yes, the second one is about what I told you in the last slide. The best thing I think is, or you contact me by this email and I will tell you whom, or through you guys, through Samuel or whoever. The thing is, right now, if you are in the West Coast in Seattle, it's going to be easier for you because it's where our main team is based, right? So I'm pretty sure that you will find many people to help you. But of course, I can give you a name. I have to find it because we are a lot of them, and I don't know each one of them. But when I will do it, I will give me your contact, and I will provide you the contact.
Perfect. So Simon, you have to write Pedro and ask him about Evangelist in Seattle and also about why you are not being able to log in. Anders Litoft, he's asking something similar. He's from Denmark. Should he contact you to find out whom to contact in Denmark?
Yeah, I think it's the best way right now. Yeah, I cannot tell you now personally, but yes, I will. I have the contacts of more or less everyone.
Perfect. So Anders, write Pedro. So anyone else has any other questions for Pedro before he leaves? No, I think everything is clear. If you have any questions after this meeting in the next following days, you can write me about anything, and I will translate your question to Pedro. So yeah, we are available for all of you for any questions you might have. And Mariano is asking if you have a link to the presentation. As I said at the beginning, we have recorded this session, so we will share to all of you, to all the startup ecosystem of the Global Sports Innovation Center, the recording of this presentation. So you will have there everything. Okay? And Simon is writing something now. Yeah, same. It would be great if you could share the video slides. Yeah, we will do that. So check your email in the next 2 days. Okay. Well, Pedro, thank you very much.
Okay.
Very interesting presentation, and we will now digest everything, and maybe we will have some questions for you in the next days.
Okay. Thank you guys, and good luck with your projects. My pleasure. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone, and remember that this Wednesday we will have another webinar where Yossi Moldavsky, one of the most important and leading investors from Israel, will share some thoughts about what he focused on, or what it's on of his interest when he decides to invest in a startup. So that's also going to be a very, very interesting topic and presentation for all of you. So be with us next Wednesday. If you happen to not have receiving the email, just let us know and we will send you the link again, okay? Thank you very much and have a nice week. Bye-bye.